I have no idea if this is working because I'm on my own, so I'm assuming that it is. It appears to be picking my voice, and it has a picture of the map screen, so that's good enough for me. I'm just going to fiddle around with a few things, and then I'll get started building my magnificent map. So, how do I see the chat while I'm doing this? I can't see the chat while I'm doing this. That's unfortunate. Right. As soon as there's no one here, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do that. Okay, I have returned. So, what have I been doing? I have been building Axii Mundi City. And as part of that, so far I've completed a docklands, like an old town area with slums named as the Boroughs, centre for the syndicate, the legal and financial quarters, the theatre district, the manufacturing and guild district, and also the Imperial Palace with its many gates and walls and whatnot. I've started, or I may have actually even finished, the main portal location where all the different portals live. I've done the main military fortifications, including the sea portal, which I think it looks pretty okay. It could always be better, of course, but it'll do for now. So the purpose of this is basically anyone who comes through this portal could bring an armada to invade the city, and this big cage effectively tries to deter them, and then if they want to get out, they either have to get through these ancient steel doors or go through this like murder field of well-defended armaments. Just outside of the actually I need to label some of these, don't I? So let's do that. Right, where's my big label? So one of the issues I found with this software is even when you put the titles on the very top layer, it can be difficult to select them. So I need a name for the military quarter. Ideally something simple. So maybe garrison. How's that look? Bastion. Imagine it's a bit cliche. Stalwart. Am I spelling that right? Stalwart? Let me Google it. Apparently it's got a T on the end. It's a bit embarrassing. Right. I mean, stalwart sounds nice. Like, see that now I can't select it easily. Oh, it's got the thingy here. I can just select. Hold on. It should be here somewhere. Apparently not. Right, layer 5, which should be my text there. Where's that locked? No, don't be locked. Okay, it's definitely in layer 5. Looking for stalwart. There it is. Right. Change that to stalwart. What? Okay, we have a stalwart. And does stalwart sound good? Stalwart. I don't know, I might come back to that one. And then I need my minor texts. So I'm going to actually use these slightly bigger ones I have in the older areas. These should again be level 5. Apparently they're level 3. So if I want to change the level, I can either just go into the settings, I think. How do I go into the settings? Click there. Yeah, there you go. And then slide it up to 5. Oh, no, that's just adding a new one. Oh, God, what am I doing? Right, delete. You. Go here. And this will be called the Great Sea Portal. No, So it's the place where people landed first. Maybe the stalwart should be called something landing. And a king may have landed there, yes. No, stalwart. Okay, it's a big portal in the middle of the sea, surrounded by a giant stone prison. What's that? Right, Alcatraz is a prison on a rock. And Al does kind of fit in with the Arabic, so maybe just call it Al something. Al Yankovic. I'll be there for you when the rain's starting us to bore. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, it's an archway. The Salty Arch. The Salty Arch Hole. Actually, is this a sea or is this an ocean? I forget. Pretty sure it's a sea. Yeah, it's like an inland sea. So it's the... I don't know, Great Sea Portal. That'll do for now. My brain isn't in naming mode today. Right, we've got the Great Sea Portal. We've got the Colonist Guild. We've got the various training areas. We need to duplicate him, bring him over here. Right, so this is effectively the headquarters for the military in the city. And so it shall be named... I don't know why it won't let me name. Why won't it let me rename? That's frustrating. There you go. Instead of being named the Great Sea Portal, it will be named... I'm really struggling. So, the first people to kind of set up a fortification here were from one of the human realms, which is either Alba or Albion. I haven't decided, but effectively it's based off Anglo-Saxon and Old British mythology and concepts. So most Old English words sound a bit meh. Don't really thrill you with grandeur, and they don't make question. You need something that's going to make people question. Ooh, I don't want to go there. It sounds ominous. Ominous names. Maybe I'll name them after concepts. The constant. Constant what? Was the constant? Constant castle, constant keep. I don't like the alliteration. But I like the idea that it's something that's forever on watch. Something that's vigilant. Vigilant is going to be my spelling being really bad, yeah. I have trouble with certain words. Don't shout at me. Right. I think it's vigilance. Because of vigilante. Yes, it is. Although I have to be careful because I named some of my realms after attributes like that. There's one called Endeavour, I believe. I should probably know this. They're my realms. Actually, I've got it printed out. 1 second. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Okay, turns out I cannot find that. It's disappeared into the various piles of paper. Let me have a look. I've got it on the group Discord somewhere, somehow. Campaign info. Okay, right. So, there are a number of realms, but big ones. There's Venture, Endeavour, Katakai, Verity. Okay. Nothing too. I could have Vigilance. Fort Vigilance. I don't like it. Ugh. No, okay, we'll go with Fort Vigilance for now. So this is the headquarters of the top brass. And then over here we have the Training Academy, which we will call Come on, this shouldn't be so difficult for me. I come up with names for things all the time. Right, okay, it's the Training Academy. We're the very, well, not the very best, because those would be the ones who watch the portal. We're pretty much the best of the best. Sent, trained, positioned, and stationed. So it's slightly less militaristic due to its educational nature, but if we've got vigilance, then we should have this one as the foundry, because it, what is the forge? It turns wayward young people who don't want to listen to authority into expertly trained military professionals. I don't like that name either. None of these names are going to stick. But Colonist Guild's fine. Okay, so I have a few things that I need to include according to my original map. One of which was this, the religious quarter. So how big is this cathedral in comparison to some other buildings? Cathedrals are pretty big, so it might be able to stay about that size. Maybe a smidge smaller. Right. And I want this to be down the road a bit. I don't want it right on Garrison Way, which is what leads up to the garrison. Stalwart. Well, let's change this to Stalwart Way for now. It could be the Stalwart Garrison. Yeah, that sounds better, I think. Okay, so we have our Stalwart Way, and we're going to have a long procession. Now, this is the main cathedral for the main theocracy, but it's also an area where there's other religions. So let's have a look at a variety of buildings that look like they could be used for worship in some kind. Well, we have a temple here. What else do we have? We have a spider. You could worship the spider. A fortress. Sea serpent. Dragon. Ooh. Trees. Oh, there should maybe be someone who worships trees. There are hippies in this world. Desert buildings. Oh, cool, there's a pyramid. I didn't know there's a pyramid. And an obelisk. I like the obelisks. Does that look too out of place there? I was looking for something to fill this area, but is it perhaps just a smidge phallic in nature? That'll do. That'll do. Okay. Right. I'm not too sure if these assets were actually here before, if I just ignored them because of the sandy nature. No, I think I prefer that to the other one that I've put down. That one's kind of cool. Dwarves, they get a temple as well? Sure. Oh, cool, there's mines. Yeah, I haven't paid attention to half of these things. So look, do we have an eastern temple? I fear I may have used these already to be the theatres, so probably not. Dwarven temple. What's this? No, dwarven. Elven, I mean. Trees. We've got a pit for those who worship pits. Lots of statues, which is good. Ruins, they could maybe be useful for a like a tree nature druidy type thing. I might put some of those down. There you go, perfect. Snowy houses, military camps. What's in the military camp? Not much. I thought it may be like a sparring pit or something. And that's just a little temple. Oh, another temple. More ruins. But these are tiny ruins. And a floating island? How bizarre. I think I actually kind of like the floating islands. Okay, I'm going to keep the floating islands. I'll use those somewhere. Various little people. Oh, I can put little peasants in. And orcs. Right, any jungle temples? Jungle temple. 3 jungle temples. That seems slightly excessive. Okay. We have fiery pits. We have icy caves. We have whatever the hell that is. Oh, starting point. Waterfalls, waves. Oh, birds. Oh, cool. I like this. Oh, god rays. Huh. Nifty. I suppose there should be an orc temple. Orcs are technically a presence on Axii Mundi. They don't, in this world, have particularly good relationships with the Empire, but they have realms, which means that they have a seat in the Reichsrat. But none of these really scream to me point of worship. I think I'll maybe put them something in the embassy area instead. And Viking settlements. Right, okay, so I think I've got what I'm working with in terms of... Oh, I wanted a big tree. Do they have any of those? Cherry blossoms, maples, oaks. Sequoias are pretty big. But... Oh, big tree 1. That's not that big a tree. Big tree 2. That's more like it. Is that floating there? No, I don't think so. Is there a big tree 3? There is. There's a big tree. Just tree home. Well, that looks pathetic. Right, looks like it's going to be big tree 2 as our candidate. There's also Christmas trees and sheep. So, with that in mind, maybe one of these could be the... Yeah, never mind. Right, let's fit all this together. So, most of these can be significantly smaller than they currently are. Although the elves would probably have a sizable presence. These can come down quite a bit to act as like just little support buildings flanking the main cathedral. We've got a so this can't just look like I've just jammed together a whole bunch of things. It needs to have some coherency and some actual style to it. It's not bad. Building my little temples. Right. So we got these two kind of an angle. Shame they don't have them at different angles, really. So I'm going to say that I'm going to do the tree one first, I think. So that can stay roughly the size it is. But I want to have these ruins about it. shrink them down and just spread them about a little bit. Pop him down. Let's see how that looks. Do I like that? No, I do not. It looks like a bunch of people. So let's try some chunkier ruins. Right. That's better, I think. Get one of these ones. Right down. Try and get it the same size. A bit smaller. And just do a few of them. That's too many. How's that? Okay. So I could do with... No, I don't want you. What I do want is some floaty islands. That may be slightly too big. Just scale you down a bit there, buddy. Okay, if I do the floaty islands, what's the actual purpose of them? How are they floating? Because of the tree? I think I'm going to skip the floaty islands. Alright, let's get this slightly more embedded in reality. Well, fictional reality. There would logically be trees and whatnot around it. What kind of magic trees do we have? None there. Where's the normal flora and fauna? Well, flora. Here you go. So it's one big magic tree. There were these other big trees. I can make them tiny and around it. I'm not too sure if that actually looks any good. Swamp trees? How do they look? Nope, don't like those either. Don't like any of these. This is, in all honesty, not going well. Okay, right. You know what? I'm going to take a break from this. I'm going to make a different map. Hurry up, map. Hurry up and save. Oh my god, it's so slow. Okay, right. Return to my maps. Create a new map. Right, let's try out some of these. So that's what I'm currently doing, the Fantasy Regional. This Fantasy World. That looks kind of nice. Then there's Fantasy Parchment. Which do I prefer? I think Fantasy Parchment. Yeah, let's try that. We will do Ultra K HD, of course. Right, while that's loading, I'm going to get a drink. I shall be right back. Again, I apologize. Okay, I'm back. Right, it's loaded. Good. Okay. Let's have a look. So, what map will I be building? I will be building the main human, or do I do halflings? Or maybe I do Nim with the gnomes. Yeah, I'll do Nim. So first thing, most important thing, find a font I like. This one's called Bilbo. Let's try that. Nim. It needs to be big. Don't like that. Nope. Definitely not. Possibly. Some of these are pretty nice. Roman Nim. Nope. That's not how you write a G. You crazy fools. Nope. 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 Oh, actually. I like that one. So, Nim. So, Nim is the realm of the gnomes. Now I've slightly tweaked. I need to move it up. Yeah. So I haven't put that much thought into the function and reasoning, the whys and wherefores of gnomes within this setting. Basically following off the standard, they're like dwarves but small and very clever. I also like the idea that the gnomes are very insular. One of the features of the setting so far is that gnomes have a number of arts and technologies. I say technologies loosely. That they don't really like other races having. And they view them as like gnome proprietary concepts. So, why would that be? I think perhaps the gnomes became very insular and inward because maybe there was competition in their realm originally, maybe a now extinct species or subset of gnome that they warred with and then eventually eradicated, but it left them very self-focused. I think that'll work. In which case, what kind of gnomes do we have? So, this is a 5th edition game. So let's have a look at the different kinds of gnomes that are available in 5th edition. So, 5th edition gnomes. Okay, so we've got forest gnomes, rock gnomes, deep gnomes are the three main types. That works out fine. Perhaps the deep gnomes fell foul of creeping manipulation deep down in the darkness and became aggravated by the gnomes that lived in the forests and in the mountains. And as they became less like their cousins, they became more malicious towards them and sprang out from the mountainside to wreak havoc. So, okay, assets, good. So we got mountains, we got trees. Is that it? I was kind of expecting more. This is fairly basic, which is fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's give it a try. So, first of all, what colour parchment do I want? I want you work. Oh, background. That seems fairly parchmenty. Maybe a brown instead? Yes, I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay. Now I need to add in some water, right? Maybe I'm not doing this right. This filter tool. How am I meant to be doing this? There's paths. Mask. Wait, what just happened? Oh, okay. So I'm not too sure what just happened, but I seem to have created something. That's pretty cool. I wish I'd known you could have done this on my other map. That adds in coastline and ripples and everything. Okay, well at least now I know. So, let's go ahead. Scale that down. So, I want it to be predominantly landlocked, but I think Nim will be one of the larger realms. That seems fitting, given that they're one of the smaller races, the gnomes. So, maybe instead of a standard landmass, it's like a swirl. And then it kind of breaks off. Just adding in some random patterns and shapes. I don't want it too swirly. Because then it looks spindly and ineffective. Let's try making that slightly less there. Slightly less well formed. And then here, maybe like a vast whirlpool. And it creates these almost riptides through these channels. But then, how do I explain the deep gnomes? This is I quite like this. Maybe this isn't Nim. Maybe this is something else. Maybe this is where the Khajiit come from. It's jungle. It's wet. Maybe it's only part of the map that's broken up. Maybe the rest of it's almost the traditional continent. Let's try that. Okay, how's that looking then? Fill in some of this interior. Give us some more substantial... Well, we can have mountains and whatnot. Same with this one. Nothing wrong with some mountains. But lots of water. And so maybe the gnomes became hyper-competitive due to the lack of available space. Right. I'm just gonna bring in... Hopefully it won't be too absurdly loud. I'm going to bring in the music that Carl created. I'm sure he won't mind. If I can find it. Right, I'm going to turn that down because I think that's way too loud. Even though I can't hear it. And then I will just quickly check the sound levels on that. Bear with me. Okay, let's turn that up a little bit. I will eventually get it right. There we go. That seems better. Nice, mellow, cool music. Written by our very own Carl. Right. So we've got our mappy outloady outline, not outload. I know what I'm saying. Right, okay, back to focusing. Enough of the pretty music from Carl. Well, enough for me, anyway. You can still listen to it. So we've got this... I like the concept of land being incredibly sparse, sorry. Difficult to get. So, let's fill some of this land in. And then if we've got a situation where we've got the three different kinds of gnomes, or at least the three main kinds of gnomes, the deep, the forest, and the rock, which I'm interpreting as just mountain gnomes. That may be incorrect, but Angus and Deslin aren't here to correct me, so for now it's correct. Make that a little bit more interesting. And then some kind of giant whirlpool here. I don't know if I just have a stamp or something just to tide me over. Feels like this should be, but there doesn't seem to be at all. Not that impressed with the stamps in this format. Oh, bird, little fish. You just have some fish. Clouds. Something pretty. Not really what I'm after. Okay. I may have to just doodle that in, which is fine. Everything's fine. Right, okay, let's get to the doodling. No, that's a mountain. I don't want to doodle a mountain. That would be silly. Colour. I want to get an off-ish colour. Will this work? That looks that looks so bad. Okay. Drawing with the mouse like it's secondary school. And the only games they have are Line Raider. I mean, it looks terrible, but okay, not that. I've also realized how big this area is. So this is the 4K map version. It will export as 8K, which means I can put very tiny little itty bitty baby settlements on here, and not really have to worry too much about people being able to see them when they zoom in. So I'm gonna actually fill in more of this land. Yeah. Do I put another layer of thin? So yeah, as I was saying, so you've got the gnomes, and I figure they become like factional. The mountain gnomes and the forest gnomes compete for resources, and they both kind of just treat the deep gnomes as a almost forgotten concept. Something that Mummy and Daddy gnomes tell their children to get them to behave and eat their gnomish vegetables. But then, so many thousand years ago, the deep gnomes decided they'd had enough. They wanted to live in the nice sunny surface, and so they started popping up. And initially, the forest gnomes, who live, I'm going to say down here, although maybe this will be more mountainy. Yeah, I like that. I like the stringy mountains here. The Nim equivalent of Antarctica. So is it best to just pull and string the mountains, or should I be splotching them? Which is a very technical term you may not have heard. Big mountains? Okay, if I do a few big mountains and then some little mountains. So like one big one there, a little one over here by the giant inland sea. And then scale it down a little bit. Boop, boop. A few over here. Make a little chain. We'll come up here. And then link up with this one. See, again, it's doing the thing that I really like, where it knows I want it to go behind. I don't know how it knows. Must be some kind of logic. Because it wouldn't make sense for a mountain to just be floating there. But I find it really impressive. But again, I am very easily impressed. Bring it down a little bit more. Some tiny mountains, little babies. Hello, little mountains. What wonders you'll see. Okay, that's looking okay. And okay is probably the best I can ask for on this. So is that mountain enough for mountain gnomes to be doing their mountain gnome things in the mountains? I don't know. I suspect it is not. Let me attempt. Oh, they have different kinds of... Oh, right, I'm using small mountains. They have large mountains. That's better. It's more like it. Oh wow. That's maybe slightly too big. So a giant mountain here. I don't see why not. And they had some others as well. They had dunes. Ooh, I could do sand gnomes. The gnome spice must flow. What's a cast? I don't know that word. I feel like I should know that word, but I don't know that word. Let's reattempt. Let's research. Type of landscape where the dissolving of the bedrock has created sinkholes, sinking streams, caves, springs, and other characteristic features. Karst is associated with soluble rock types such as limestone, marble, and gypsum. Okay. So it's big rock spikes. Fair enough. Let's not use those. No, what are you doing? Stop it. Okay. Mountains, small mountains, large mountains. So I'm guessing the mountains is actually medium mountains. Jagged rocks. They seem kind of cool. I'm gonna do some like leading up to the mountain. I wanted it on top. Why is it, what the hell is that? What kind of rock is that? Stop it, stop giving me the weird rocks. I want the cool jaggedy ones. There you go. That's better. That's the exact same one. Come on, put some work in. Okay, I really like that, but not here. This, ooh, I know where this can go. You. No, don't want you, don't want you, don't want you, don't want you. No, I don't want you. Honestly. Take the hit rocks. Is that everyone? Right. This. Oh, I got really confused then. Wait, have I done? No, okay. I thought that I had filled in the wrong way. I thought that this was the land that I'd filled in, but the little watery things are here. So maybe there's a big rock thing here. Can I just group that? And then group that. And can I flip this one? Right, I said to group. Group yourselves. Can I flip it? I think I can flip it. Flip it real good. Okay. No. You're a group. Stick together. Okay. That's interesting. There's a big, massive, jagged spike that's come up from the seabed. It's perhaps the cause of the ocean turmoil that over millennia has worn away at the landmass. Would that make sense? I need a geologist. I think it makes sense. Either way, it sounds pretty cool. So what was it that caused this massive rock surge of bedrock, creating tidal waves and destroying land masses? Why, it was the deep gnomes. In revenge for the oppressive nature of their cousins in their fancy forests and slightly higher up mountains. Okay, but so would deep gnomes be living under the mountains? In my head, they're in, like, very deep down, rather than just digging a hole under a mountain like a dwarf. But okay, I like that, and I feel like there should be some debris, like some just destruction left over from this. Loads of little islands. Maybe some more jagged, whatever these are, but smaller, little ones, teensies. Just spread. It wouldn't be there, would it? Because if these are channels of water that have kind of forced their way, carving out a whole... Ooh, volcanoes. Could there be a volcano in the middle? The plot thickens. But it have to be big. Or is it now spinning out ash? Like some kind of ash thing. Now I feel like these should be smaller, even though I like how big they are. But if the volcano's going to be the pride of place, then they need to blend in with it a little bit. They're too stand out at the moment. Okay, I like that. That is pretty cool. So this just popped up, creating devastation, wreaking havoc. Well, I mean, my original plan was to do a really nice, like, bucolic, green, shirey setting for either the humans or the halflings, but I quite like Deathscape Gnome Place. You know, it's not a style you see done very often. What else have we got? I mean, we've got a crater, but I feel like a crater is just a bit on the nose at this point. Like, yeah. Let's just pop that down. That is just a bit too much. Instead, I could do cliffs. Yes, I will do that. But these are too big. Oh, and it's going to take ages to go all the way around it with cliffs. Would it even look good? I don't know. That is a question that may be beyond my sense of reason and commitment to determine the answer to. I quite like the idea that it's... Yeah, this might actually work. I'm almost reluctant for it to work. Wait, so this is the inside cliff, yeah? Yeah, with the thingy. So these ones need to go at the top here. And they could probably be quite far out, actually. I think. They probably shouldn't go above the height of the volcano, though, because that will make the volcano look smaller. And we don't want that. We want it to be an ominous, enormous volcano. Kind of thing that makes everyone go, oh, look, a volcano. That wasn't here earlier. Oh, look, deep gnomes. They seem angry. That's the extent of my my plot for this realm so far. Okay, so now we swap to these little ones because we've done... Well, detect that should go behind. It does. Well done, software. You have impressed again with your magic auto-detecting of things. But now I'm getting myself confused. He should go there. This one can clear off. This is obviously not the right choice. Which is what everyone keeps saying to me. A bit further to the right, I think. There we go. Nice and neat. Okay, so this is taking a while, but I think the effect will probably be kind of worth it. I want it to look like it's just a massive crater, but not as crappy looking as the other crater. And this bedrock has just been forced up through, creating shockwaves and all manner of unpleasantness for the poor little gnomes. Just minding their own business. Which one? Which one do I need? You. One more, I think. Make him a smidge smaller. There we go. That connects up rather nicely, I think. Come on, you can do it. Wait, won't it Let me stretch it. Oh yeah, well. Ugh. This little fine-tuning stuff does not suit my temperament. But still. It's looking better. So, I'm unsure if this is soothing or frustrating for anyone who's actually watching. I'd like to think that it is the former. But if it keeps being so fiddly, it will definitely turn into the latter. No. Give me more. I might have to just rotate some of these because I don't think I've got enough straight line ones. Almost there. Almost. You can rotate back. Shrink you down a bit. About yay big. That'll do. Will it do? No. Because that's like the most obvious place where the eye is immediately drawn. Let's not half-ass it there. That's better. Okay, so we've got this big crater. We've got this groundswell of bedrock and general unpleasantness. Do I put some of these in? No. I think they're just going to be things that have popped up. Right, what else we got? Actually, do I need to put some more of these in here? Maybe smaller ones? Just to showcase. No, I don't think I do. I think it'll be enough just to have it like that. And then maybe some little mountains, maybe even some small mountains. No, that looks terrible. The difficulties of incredibly limited iconography. But they've got several different heraldry shield things that you might want to use. Naturally. Hills, maybe? Hills kind of work. Not too many, but I think the hills kind of work. So this is where the deep gnomes have their base. So I actually want this to be land, don't I? Because at the moment it's water. And as much as it would be cool to have like huge waterfalls all the way around here, I don't think that's entirely practical. I could do it with the other map setup, but this one seems slightly more limited in that regard. Oh well. Let's have a look. I think I may have to turn this into land, which is absolutely fine. I have no real objection to it. It may also explain why these pillars are here. Because although I'm not sticking too stringently to things being logically and geologically, sensible, it would be nice if there was some coherency to it. This is a bit too wibbly wobbly, and definitely needs a smoothing switched on, but maybe I need to turn down the roughness. I think that's better. Okay, so now we have a big crater. We need to put our other features in, so let's move these big rocks out onto it. And then let us say that we want to have mountains around it. Now, I know I said earlier that the mountains would look a bit naff, but I'm hoping, just hoping, that they don't. Just want these mountain chains around it, and then these massive peaks, these thicker spires. So basically the only things that weren't destroyed by this. Also just realised that this volcano smoke looks like it's forming a river or something here, so I'm gonna have to address that. I'm just adding a bit more, I think. Ironically creating an actual river of look. If I take that away. Oh, actually I quite like the idea of them being almost joined. Yeah, so that's the way that you get onto the island. The island of the deeps. But first you have to get through the mountain passes. I think that's enough mountains. So, wood... I think dead trees might be the answer. Oh dear, this is... So if these are the standard size of the trees, this is going to create a lot of little trees. That may be slightly excessive. That's going to get out of hand pretty quickly. Maybe I didn't need to do the 8K version of this map, just a thought. I don't like the size of these trees one bit. Maybe this size will do. I have made a lot of changes. I probably should save it. Nim. And I think I also once... Okay, how long is this going to take to save?
You can draw coloured political... Oh, it's gone. You can use your note tool to add notes about your world in your maps and your maps in your notes.
Okay, this is already... I am on my super duper crappy computer though, so that may explain some of the reason as to why it no work. Okay, I think this is a good enough size, just to show forest areas and woodlands. Mostly in the little valley passes. Yeah, that'll do. So, these deep gnomes that have pushed up and caused irreparable damage to the structure of the planet, the realm. what do they want? Well, for the longest time, they wanted revenge, as we all do. But are they now at peace? Is there a reluctant stalemate, partly enforced by the Empire? And so, those individuals who wanted to see a return to hostilities would perhaps be part of the groups that oppose the Empire, even though they're indifferent to what the other races actually think or care about. They just want to destabilize the Empire so that they can renew hostilities with the between the three factions. What colour should this be? I don't really want to do foreground. That's way too dark. I just want a shade. A little shade lighter. Ever so light. I want darker actually, don't I? Egypt. Right, that's what I currently have, which is that one. I want one shade darker. But I don't want to add in new... Okay, I can just do it this way. Cool. Alright, let's make this a little bit darker. After all, it is a pit. Wait, no, this isn't the pit, this is just the island. I am a double Egypt. Okay. Let's see how this looks. This is where I just scribble a little bit too far, and then, because I haven't let go of the mouse, when I press Ctrl Z, it will undo everything. Right, let's let go of the mouse. Okay, we're getting there. And then I kind of want like the top bits that are sticking out to be the normal shade, but I don't know if that will look a bit naff. Yeah, because this area is, it's not dark because it's in shadow, although perhaps it should be. Perhaps it should be, my friends. I just kind of wanted it darker to help it stand out, but if this doesn't look good, then we'll look at doing something else. How does that look? Let's zoom it out. I guess I like the shade darker. Not as much as I thought I would. Apologies, I was momentarily distracted. So, it's too dark. Making a decision. Too dark. Undo. 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 Right. Turn down the opacity. You can barely see it. That's just stupid. Whose idea was that? Anger me, map maker. I will find whoever made you and give them a stern telling off. 50%. 50% better. Okay. 60. I think that's what I'm looking for. 68. Just bump that up to 69 for artistic purposes. Okay. Now, using my amazing Warhammer painting knowledge, of highlights and shadows. I will attempt to only hit the shadows on these bigger rocks. See how that looks. This may be slightly too much effort. Everyone loves a try hard. Okie dokie. That's looking decent. Decent. Do these long bits. Trying not to have the old shaky hands. Succeeding partially. Right, okay, and then the shadowy parts. Let's do them. Or at least some of them. Because I might want to here leave some bits. Actually, I think the low down stuff should probably just be in shadows. I'm also just now realizing that because I flipped this, the shadows are actually on two different sides. Why you do this? Do you notice that they're on two different sides? Is it weird? I don't think it's that weird, but I generally like weird stuff anyway. I don't know what song I'm singing. I didn't want to do that. No. There you go. Okay. And then probably most of these lower ones should just be in shadow. Just simpler that way. And just have the very tippy-toppy bits, I think, are these bigger ones. Okay, that's... I mean, these shadows are on the wrong side. But that's fine. It's all good. No one's gonna really notice. I'll just clip them out a little bit. Sure. Fine. You should also be in shadow. So we have a smouldery, smoky hole. Now we have to fill it. So we have a deep gnome home. Deep gnome? Yeah. And let's put some settlements. What settlement shall we settle? Extra locations, caves, bridges, landmarks, factions, shops, guilds, resources, orc, monument, magical igloo, doors, elves, human, more orcs. Okay, it's seemingly limited to the standard Tolkien. Well, it doesn't even have halflings. Okay. Well, let's stick with the standard 5th edition concept that gnomes and dwarves are of similar origins. Which I think is a thing. I'm sure I just talked about that at some point. So let's put some dwarven stuff down to act as deep gnome stuff. I think... Is it high up in the... No, it should be the base. The deepest part of it.
me now. You take away the deepest part of me. Ooh, baby, please don't go.
What the hell is that? That looks terrible. Well, there's meant to be bridges. There's nothing like a bridge. Okay, so we have big capital there, and then I want a fort up here, protecting the deep gnomes. What do you suppose that is? Something strange and peculiar, whatever it is. Is it a gate? Could be a gate. I'm gonna say that is a gate. A little village. I want a little village over here by the sea. Probably still sticking close to the mountains. So we have the big underground deep gnome fancy capital that's been built up since the destruction of the whatever this was. I think maybe this was the maybe thousands of years ago, or even tens or hundreds of thousands of years ago, the forest gnomes and the rock gnomes, or whatever they're called, who originally were not very nice with one another, decided to put their differences aside, and they'd completely forgotten about the deep gnomes at this point, and they built a lovely city here, to mark their acceptance of tolerance and friendship and all those other smelly things. And then the deep gnomes thought, aha, what a lark, we'll decimate it. We'll destroy the entire thing by birthing a volcano in the middle of it. And as volcanoes want to do, destruction followed. And it was very good. Sorry, I'm typing to Deslin, who unfortunately can't make it because he has to work. But if he were here, he would support my volcano conspiracy 100%. I am sure. So, we have. That's good. Does there need to be something over here? Is it necessary? Is it required? Does it add anything? I don't know what this is, but I feel like the deep. What the? What's wrong? Why is this one drunk? I feel like the deep gnomes in particular would be very protective and wary of strangers, as well as weary of strangers. So they'd probably have something right here in the middle. What would that be? A secret, a whatever that is, and I can decide exactly what it is later on. A brilliant plan, Michael. Truly. Okay. That goes there. Maybe another little fort over here, because that's pretty close. They wouldn't want people just rocking up on boats. Yeah, I'm thinking just forts everywhere. Big forts, little forts. Forts who climb on rocks. Basically, each mountain has its own establishment to provide some semblance of protection from the filthy, long-legged sons of bitches who might try and attack this rightful deep gnome clay. Little village. I feel like this big spire, needs something extra. Something to help them stand out. don't know what it is. You may notice a trend of me not knowing what an awful lot of things are. But still, I do them. I place them. What else do I need? I need my roads. Oh, that's... Roads have their own thing. And roads have little tiny dots. So, from here... Oh, these are pretty big dots. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, navigating through these mountains may be something of an issue. But equally, all roads should be on like the lowest possible layer, right? I'm not just being silly and thinking that. So I select the bloody things. Okay, that wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Okay, do I want the roads to be white? That does help them stand out a little bit, I think. Also, do I want them to, I want them to be smaller, don't I? Cough, cough. So, let's bump those down to, that's better, a 0.8 if you please, a 0.8, and just to mix it up, a 0.8. Kennel dogwood, cardigans are gross. How dare you, sir or madam? Cardigans are wonderful and magical, and they endow the wearer with all manner of valuable attributes. Wisdom, coolness in a heated argument with strangers on the internet about cardigans. So, now that we've dealt with that affront against the finest of all wear, let's carry on placing our thousands of tiny paths. No, is there going to be a path through this mountain? I don't think so. I may have to fill in some gaps there. But that should be fine. Just in case they didn't see the stream. Wait, what? That's weird. Okay. I don't understand how chats work, apparently. You may be partly correct that cardigans aren't perfect. They tend to go on old people, and being an old person, I don't know how chat works. Nothing to do with the cardigan. It's entirely on me. But there may be a trend. No, they are lovely. Okay, it works. So, where were we? We were exiting that. We were deciding we're not going to have a road there, which means that this settlement is going to go all the way over here. And this settlement is going to go all the way over here. Which you can kind of make it. Actually, I think I'll make that a coast road. Why not? Treat myself to a nice coastal route. So, how does one get from the top of this massive, ginormous cliff to the bottom, where lie all the interesting things? I was thinking... I actually don't know. So for the deep gnomes, it seems fairly easy. They can just go through tunnels. There's a daisy chain of forts at this point. Right. Okay, yeah, that links everything up. So how do we get down here? We will do it by having a... let's hastily look around to see what assets I have. Bridges? No, not bridges. Monuments? I think it's unlikely that they can have any useful monuments, but I will have a look. No. Ooh, portal. Ooh, a portal. That's a good one. Is that a Sauron's tower? Maybe they have a elevator? Or an elevator? Could that be? Would it work? Is it sensible? Probably not. How do you go from here to there? You do it. Yeah, I think some kind of elevator type system. It's not perfect, but maybe here. Yeah, I think that's the best I'm gonna get. These little bridge things. Could they maybe just go down, like? Does this make any sense? Like it's just showing where the bridge down is. Maybe if I put them lower still. So like behind. No, that doesn't really do much. That doesn't help at all. I don't know what it's doing. Being funky. Stop it. I am frustrated. Okay, I think that's roughly what I was going for. And let's just move them. Oopsie. Move them in a little bit. There you go, that's nice. I mean, it's not level, but it's nice. We're on your level. Okie dokie. Let's go. From here, we're going down. And then from there, we're going here. And then from there, we're going here. Haha! I think that makes some sense. And anyone who disagrees is clearly wrong. Does there need to be another one though? I think there might. Actually, no, I think that's fine. Okay, so we have a need to do some naming. So many names. Right. What style of language do the deep gnomes have? So, no names that I have that might give some insight into what kind of language to use. There's Calbor, there's Felric, there's someone else, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't really know. Right, let's have a look at this. So Iskandar is the name of one of the prominent gnomes, which I believe is a Persian name. So it's the Arabic form of Alexandros. Okay. So I don't really fancy using Egyptian names for hold on. So also these are the deep gnomes. So okay, so I've just searched for. So apparently, Iskandar, which is the name of one of the main gnomes, is commonly used in Coptic Christian cultures. So there are some other interesting looking names. Famous Coptic Christian sites. Coptic Christian sites. Apparently there's a whole part of Cairo has a Babylonian fortress. Memphis, Heliopolis. No, those are a bit too Egyptian. Yeah, I think I'm fine with normal, generic, commonly seen gnomes using place names like that. But the deep gnomes are meant to be deep. So, gnomish place names. Let's see what some people recommend. Bladder, Handy, Mise, Nobbleborn, Prankarp, Clock, Quirkhelm, Gaffal, Wheelinward, and don't think I like that. Although this website does seem pretty good, it gives a number of different themes. Russian, Roman, Necropolis. They're all very orc sounding. Arabian Peninsula. Maybe I'll give them some let's have a look at some Middle Eastern town names instead. Now, are these real town names? Because if they are, I don't want to use them, but I can use ones that sound familiar. So Piramal is apparently not a place. I could be making myself look very silly here. It's so silly. Then again, I am on a stream, mostly talking to myself. Right, Ajala is apparently a real name. Right. I'm going to use these as suggestions. No, I can't mini screen it. I need it to stay big screen. This is why I need two bloomin' monitors. Okay, Piralam. Piralam. That's not quite deep noby enough. It's something dark. Something abyssal. Something. Right. It's an enormous underground fortress city, and this is just a little bit that you can see above the top. So it's deceptively small. And I have already established that Gnomish is actually a separate, unique language. We should have deep in the name, surely. Deep thingy. And it's in a more volcano. Right, okay, so it's a deep underground fortress city next to a giant volcano in a massive hole that was caused when that volcano was forced up to the surface, decimating the city that was there. So it's also built on ruins, and I can't think of an interesting name based on ruins, volcanoes, and a big hole in the ground. That's perhaps an indicator that it is time for me to go to bed. The shattered spine. Spine or spear or spire. Shattered spire. Works on 2 levels. Volcano is a spire that shattered and spewing out stuff, but also the works for the destroyed city that they shattered. So the shattered spire. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay, that I actually kind of like. It's not going to win any awards, but I actually kind of like it. And then I reckon just before I go, I don't know what this is. Right, controls aren't working. It's late. I'm going to call it quits there. For anyone who is watching or watched, thank you, and I look forward to sharing future mappy goodness with you. And have a wonderful evening.